Okay, hello everybody and welcome on back. Sorry, I wanted to at least make another quick one to kind of clarify some of the stuff I was saying in that last one. So, my stance is killing people is wrong, period. And when the American government did it after 9/11, I found how easy it was to jump on that bandwagon. I wanted to join the military. I wanted to go kill people. And I've always known that killing is wrong. I was raised Christian, and that's one of the biggest things in Christianity is like, hey, don't kill people. Like, you can do a lot of things, and a lot of things are bad to do, but if you do anything today, just make sure you don't go out and kill somebody. And it's like, also, wait, are we kind of skewed? Yeah, this feels like. I guess not. This is level, so I can start doing grass blocks here. But anyways, no, I just didn't want to leave it like that. I'm saying it's all bad. I'm not excited about any of it. I'm not happy about any of what's going on over there. But I have a lot of friends with Jewish heritage, and I have a lot of friends with Islamic heritage, and even the ones like I'm just seeing a lot of outcry from people like trying to justify these like hundreds of thousands of people dying. And I was also watching this girl that or this student at NYU that she lost her scholarship because she ripped down an Israeli hostage poster, which that's a whole. I mean, I don't know. And now like President Biden is catching a lot of flack because he's sending more money to Israel, and Israel's still conducting all these things. And yeah, people are like, oh yeah, but they said that they're evacuating. Well, okay, what if that happened to me? What if I was told tomorrow that Mexico wanted to bomb us because a bunch of people that I have no idea, I don't know, and I'm not friends or family with any of them. Like it's just a bunch of people that look like me. Some crazy white people went out and killed a bunch of Mexicans, and now Mexico's going to bomb us, and I have to move, and my house gets destroyed. Like, so no, none of that seems okay. Now, then you go back to the Israeli side. Well, if Hamas doesn't dig themselves in and use these people as human shields, because I did, I watched an Israeli military person give a very good explanation of why all this is necessary. And then after watching it, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Carry on. And it was like, wait a minute, wait a minute. There's got to be better ways. So, and those better ways are focusing on building up the communities, using science and technology to grow crops. Like, stuff we're doing here. Like, yes, this is a game, but if you were to make hydroponic grow operations, and I know people that back when cannabis was illegal, they were able to grow just tons of cannabis, like, and and make it viable. Like, and not only was it, it's kind of finicky plant to grow, it was also super illegal. And you got helicopters flying around and looking with infrared, and people found a way. So just because they believed in it so much. And now most of our country has legalized it and realized, you know what, this stuff isn't all that bad, especially when compared to alcohol. My gosh. And that's why I've been kind of like trying to encourage the Pope to just come out and say, you know what, okay, cannabis isn't all that bad. Because if you really think about it, the blood of Christ being wine was an accidental Trojan horse. Again, it's not like people are out there maliciously like, meh, I'm going to go mess things up. It's like, oh, wait, I didn't realize that would come off like that, or I didn't see it that way. It's all about perspective, and perspective is reality. So, if you think you're the victim and you think you deserve to go and kill like a bunch of people, either way, and America's included in that too. Like I can already see a political cartoon. What is it like? The ones where the Republicans and Democrats are fighting, and Uncle Sam's like, "Enough! I've had enough of you two. Stop fighting." That's basically human nature in a nutshell, and what we need to do with everything. But easier said than done. We're gonna still be seeing this stuff. We still got Ukraine having issues, and Russia. And again, it's all about control or feeling that you're losing control or feeling that your way of life is going to slowly disappear. And Putin, people like Putin, definitely, yeah, they're worried about their way of life disappearing. They're super rich. They don't have to want for anything. Their family will be set. Like their family is secure for life. And it's interesting in a communist country where the whole government is centered around everybody gets an equal share. Well, what happens about all these rich, wealthy people out there playing whatever? Like, same with America too. Oh my gosh, like, Ivy League schools even being able to afford going to somewhere like that. Like, I mean, I've got debt out of my up to my eyeballs just to go to a state school with the Pell Grant, mind you. And granted, I took longer than the average time to get a degree, so okay. And they've since fixed a lot of that, but just because they fixed the glitch, like thinking Office Space when Milton, they fixed the glitch of the pay glitch, so he was still showing up to work, but they were just going to stop paying him because technically they fired. They fired this guy like years ago, but nobody had the heart to tell him that he didn't work there anymore. And so they just let him keep going. And then somehow there was a glitch in the payroll where he kept getting a paycheck, but he was so awkward to talk to or be around that people just, not my problem, did, and just like ignored Milton. And yeah, and that's kind of a deep look. It's profound, and that's what's happening with a lot of people, with businesses and everything. Also, we're gonna need some lights. I just realized because as I'm building this next floor, pretty sure the plants need. I don't know about pumpkins and melons. That might just be for them to grow that, in fact. But it still is nicer to just have lights. Yeah, I forgot I need to plant a lot more pumpkins. So, anyways, I don't know. It's just my nuggets of wisdom aren't going to help in this situation currently right now. Like, we need to resolve it. We need to stop the killing and the firing and the shooting and the shelling and all that. But we need to fix it in a more preventable way. We need to fix the area and give the people resources. And really, that's a lot of what America was trying to do with the Iraq War. They were trying to go in, make women equal, and that was one of the big reasons we were over there anyway. Because our way of life believes that women should be close to equal to men. A lot of people believe they should be purely equal, like myself. And then a lot more of the older fogies, the old heads as they're called sometimes, believe in no, no, a man should still lead the family. A man should be in charge. A man. Blah blah blah. Well, okay, a human. There you go. And then it goes back to the human, them, and women thing, which I didn't take off as much as I thought it would. It's only got like 8 views, but it's a concept of just how we identify people. I mean, and in a way that makes sense too. Like, I mean, the pronouns, it's a great effort, but at the same time, I feel like it's sorely lacking because at the same time, we also have a lot of like confusion, labels. Like, I didn't even know what cis male meant until like recently, and like all these things that are confusing. And so when people are faced with that, and I'm speaking more like the redneck, the hillbilly-ish, like people like I'm used to growing up with, you present them with that without all the facts and all the information, they're going to think you're nuts. They're going to think you're crazy. Like, what? Okay, I'm a giraffe. Like, that's about as much sense as it makes to a lot of people. But then, on the flip side of that, for people that are more in like cities and urban areas with a lot more people and a lot more communication, more of the information is presented, more of the facts. They have more of the story. So then it's like, oh, I see. You just don't want these gender stereotypes to be controlling your life. Like, just because you were born with male parts doesn't mean you have to aspire to be a football player. Okay, and just because you were born with female parts doesn't mean you have to be a ballerina. Like, you have to like pink, you have to like this and that. It's okay to like other things. And I think we've got a pretty good grasp on that. And then the people that want to have a different identity physically, totally fine. Like, you can do that. I mean, again, I'll say it again. South Park has the wisest knowledge, I swear, because of their dolphin one, the Lawfin. Gerald, who's a Jewish lawyer, um, he wants to be a dolphin, and so he gets cosmetically done up to look like a dolphin. And then he has this realization. He's like, "But wait, I'm not a dolphin. Like, no, we're not. The science isn't there yet. Like, you can't go breathe underwater. You can't be a dolphin. Like, although I say that, but we're getting closer to like brain chips and stuff. There's a chance that we might be able to be downloaded into another, like an animal's body, or control an animal with a computer and feel like we're that animal, which there's some serious ethical implications of that, like playing God and, not being fair to the animals. Like, you're basically just taking them over. But then it's like, how fair and not fair should you be with animals since we just grind them up and eat them anyway? That's the whole PETA argument. Like, would you grind up your dog or your cat and the household family member? Like, well, that's what you're doing when you're eating meat. And it's like, okay, so there, and I finally understand what gaslighting is. It's like making people feel guilty for things that they're doing or not doing, too. Like blaming people, misplaced blame in order to elicit different responses and control over somebody. It's social engineering all over. Like, oh, look who's really doing it. And I hate to say it, but oh, I don't hate to say it at all. Ever since seeing The Other Guys, if you watch the end credits of The Other Guys with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, um, it makes a lot of sense. There is a lot of corporate greed, and and not all of that is evil. And that's another reason I love Breaking Bad is because with the whole Beneke thing, is Beneke was breaking tax laws and not reporting income to the IRS to save a bunch of people's jobs because he was in way over his head taking care of his dad's company, and his dad passed away and left him a company and all this responsibility and stuff. And that's another source of inefficiencies and hardship in humanity is trying to figure out what our ancestors wanted. Like when you get to the top, you climb to the top of the corporate ladder, and then now you're in charge. Are you going to do it differently? Are you going to fix the things? Or are you just going to do what you can to keep it afloat? Because that's all you really know how to do. And then start handling these problems. And it's almost like stopping a bunch of the problems in the middle and then letting someone take over. Like, and that's why we have so many problems. It's because we change hand, power changes hands almost too much now, to where not a lot can really get done. And then confusion, lack of communication, misunderstandings will attribute to more problems. I don't know. And then there's also real and perceived inequality. Now there's the real people with having hardships, like people that had to live in the projects, and that we do have evidence that the government basically invented crack cocaine to destabilize communities of color or communities that were largely populated by people with darker skin. Like if you start kind of like redefining how you identify these things, it seems a lot less racist. Still seems pretty racist. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of these things I'm saying seem judgmental, but what I'm still just trying to do at the end of the day is identify how do we fix this? How do we make it right? You know, how do we give everybody access to a good life? Anyways, I gotta go. Kiddos here. Ta ta. I will see you in the next one.